Yeah, I want to give TJ and his team a lot of credit. Got a lot of respect for the way that he does things, from a distance. The last few years, I've always really respected how they run the program, how they defend, watched them a lot, and, got to see it up close and personal tonight. Actually thought we, got off to a pretty good start and kind of had the game where we were going, and there was just, a couple pivotal plays that I thought there was a loose ball that we had an opportunity to grab. We don't grab it. Gives them an extra possession. Bateman makes three, then he makes another one, and that was, sometimes all it takes, and it sparked them a little bit. And I thought our first shot defense was good in the first half. Just didn't do a good enough job cleaning up the defensive rebound, and had 11 offensive rebounds at the first half, 11 second chance points. And that was kind of the difference in the first half. Gives them that lead, and then you're up against it a little bit. And, Mosmilovic, 22 gets rolling, and just didn't have good enough identification and communication to locate him. So, disappointed in some things, in particular our inability to rebound the ball in the first half and then to execute defensively. And if you'd have told me going into the game that we only had 12 turnovers, that was kind of the number that I thought, like, if we kept it around that area, we'd give ourselves a chance, but didn't make enough shots and didn't defend well enough despite not turning the ball over.
Take some questions. You guys went punch for punch with them for probably the first 14, 15 minutes, and then they got some separation going into halftime. What did you feel like changed maybe in that stretch?
Yeah, our inability to defend the defensive glass in that stretch. Like I said, I thought our first shot defense, without looking at it, I thought our first shot defense in the first half was actually pretty good. And then we just gave them too many second chance points. Buchanan, Jefferson had a putback and one, and you just can't give a team with that level of talent and offensive efficiency second chances. I mean, they don't need second opportunities. And like I said, I have to go back and watch it, but I'm pretty sure in that 4-minute stretch there were probably 3 or 4 opportunities we had to grab the ball and couldn't. And then and one, tip in, Lipsy late clock 3, like I said, Bateman's threes, all those were off second chance points. You don't give up those 11 offensive rebounds, 11 second chance points. You're down 5 at the half. The game just feels a little different than your uphill climb. And, again, 22 gets on a roll, and you're in trouble.
Coach, I was going to ask you about, like you said, 12 turnovers, not a huge differential in points off. But when Momcilovic gets going like that, and some of those are deep threes, just how difficult a guard is he when they're moving the way they do, setting screens the way they do, and the way he moves without the basketball?
Yeah, they do a great job, and again, that's where Jefferson, again, like, he impacts the game in so many ways. He didn't have the scoring output typically. He missed a couple threes, but again, still has a triple double, and he's such a good facilitator. And again, which good teams do, they make you pick your poison, and we made some adjustments to how we wanted to defend them in the post. The first half, it was better. Again, you get away from your bench a little bit, try to make some adjustments. You don't execute it well, and then you end up giving him just catch and shoot threes, and I don't care how far he is off the line. And once he starts seeing it go in, again, you're going to be in for a long night.
Can you just describe how special of a shooter Momcilovic is for Iowa State?
Yeah, I mean, it's the combination. His size is, really kind of what separates him and his ability to shoot it, because he's one of those guys, again, a contest, 6'8", a contest doesn't really matter. You legitimately have to get him off the line and not let him shoot him. You can't even give him attempts. And, again, he did what good players do. You can talk about, like, hey, he's got a really good shot fake, don't leave it, just get him off the line. But right out the bat, we leave our feet on a couple, he sidesteps you, and he makes them, and then, the gravity of not being able to help off of them opens up driving lanes for, Jefferson and Lipsy and, all those guys. And Buchanan, is also not a person that scores a ton, but he puts a lot of pressure on your defense with his ability to kind of be that secondary playmaker out of pick and rolls, you know, Draymond Green-ish, you know, where he can hit that pocket and then he can move the ball.
And then no Brennan Lorian for your team tonight. How did that affect your guys' group?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're coming and playing, you know, on the road against a top 3 team in the country, you certainly, you know, want to have every bullet in your chamber, you know, and you know, Belo's probably our best athlete, one of our best rebounders, another just secondary playmaker. Like we talked about, he's good in those shorts and pockets when they put 2 on the ball. You know, don't know if he would have impacted how it ended ultimately, but you know, he's a good player. You know, and he's one of the 2 guys that have actually been in games, you know, with me of this magnitude, and probably your best individual defender as well. But so yeah, you know, it's part of it though, you know. And again, I think that's what separates, you know, good teams from great teams. I mean, these guys had to play 3 games without, you know, maybe the best point guard in the country, and they still find a way, you know.
Coach, thank you.
Thank y'all. Y'all be safe out there.